Today, we're talking about cracks. Today, we're talking about fixing gaps and cracks and spalls and missing pieces in concrete. And we're gonna be using the Rapid Set Cementol to do it. And of course, we're gonna try to do something cool with it too. So, let's make something cool. It is springtime and things are thawing, things are moving, things are separating, things are heaving. Maybe we even have some corners to reconstruct, but you want to use something that is not only going to last, but will bond. The only product that I know of that can do all that in spades is Rapid Set Cementol. Yes, Rapid Set is sponsoring this video, but this truly is the best product to use for these kind of repairs. Cool thing about Cementol is it has a really fine silica sand aggregate in it. Therefore, it can go from a feathered edge all the way up to 4 inches thick, all in one shot. In 1 hour, it has 3,000 PSI, which a regular Portland base doesn't have that in 30 days. But in 28 days, this will have 9,000 PSI. Best part is you don't need any kind of bonding primer. You don't have to add any kind of acrylic fortifier to this to get it to bond to the surface. And you can drive on this in 1 hour. It's also good to note that this is available in a small 25-pound box for those small repairs, but for those larger projects, it's available in a 55-pound bag. But before we mix up anything, we have to make sure that we prep this area very well. That means making it free of loose debris, free of paint, free of oils and greases, anything that will inhibit this bond. Now, cracks like this, you want to make sure that not only do you get rid of the loose debris, but you want to open it up just a little bit too. Superficial cracks like this, I'm not even gonna bother. I can get away with mixing up a slurry coat, rubbing it in there really good, brushing it away, and be done with it. Holy cow. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting this big, huge chunk to come off. Those of you who watched my dry pour video and that are highly anticipating the test after 30 days, I don't know, is that a quick preview of things to come? I don't know. But I will say that this is the area that I screwed up. The rest of this stuff is still really solid. All right, now that we've gotten rid of all the loose debris, there's only one more thing that we've got to do before we mix up any Cementol, and that is we got to dampen the surface. This is going to help the Cementol bond, but also it's going to prevent the substrate from sucking moisture out of the Cementol. And when it comes to mixing, if you're mixing up the whole bag, it's about 5 quarts of water per bag. But in most cases, when you're working with Cementol, you're going to be mixing up in small batches. So the mixing ratio is 4 parts product to 1 part water. But really what you're going for is like a wet oatmeal-like texture. I like to add just a little bit more water than I think I need, because you only have about 15 minutes to work with this stuff. So it's gonna start to set up as soon as you start putting it down. Ooh, and don't forget your bucket scraper. That's really funny if you've been watching the channel for a while. Right now, the goal is to get it out of the bucket and into that crack and work it real good. Stop giggling. And since this little mishap happened, we are asking the Cementol to do quite a bit today. And since we're in a little bit of a tight spot, I'm just gonna put something, a board, something to help me shape the cement. Now, if you're still having trouble blending, this is where a damp sponge can really save your life. I think I can remove this now. Now, I do happen to have the tool that I rounded the corners over with, so I'm gonna use that, see if I can blend it even better. Now in this small corner where it looks like the surface has been brushed, then I get a brush to do a brush texture. There really is just gonna be a lot of messing around with it until you blend it enough until you're happy. A tip to make this go a little bit smoother for you is turn your trowel into a table. Bucket scraper full of mud. There, makes it much easier to handle. We forget about gravity sometimes when we're doing these things, and it's also helpful to go as low as you can, press it up against the substrate, and go up and over and towards the substrate. And again, you could either take a piece of wood to try to help you form it up, or if you got another trowel on hand, you don't have to do it like this, but it can make it easier. And don't forget about suction. I don't want to pull away from it like this. It's gonna take that material right off. So I'm going to slide it off. I think that's about as much as I can do with this. Now, for another very important step, which is once this starts to light up and once I start to see it start to cure, I've got to keep this wet for 1 hour. That's gonna help me to prevent any surface cracks. After that, it's ready to drive on. And that is not only how you repair something fast and easy, it's just another way to give your old concrete a new lease on life. And the best part is, you did it yourself. Now, yes, I realize that it doesn't match, but it's a patch. Nothing's going to. Now, the nice thing is 24 hours after you do this, you can go ahead and paint and stain and really tie this thing together. You'll never notice. But how do we take a product like this and go one step further? Wait, before we do that though, I just wanted to take a second to thank my absolutely wonderful, fantastic patrons. You guys are helping me keep the lights on and keeping the concrete flowing, and you're helping me to reach my goals. And by the way, thank you for letting me share my big goals with you for this year. It means a lot to me. My friend Paul used to do this fun thing with Cementol. He would parge the wall, and then he would take balls of it and just throw it up there. And then he would just mess around with it a little bit. Try to make it look a little bit more natural. Little pat, pat, pat. Maybe a little damp sponge action. I want a little rock right there, but I'm all out. Ooh, there we go. Little light trowel action. Alright, so yes, I'm a hack, but that has nothing to do with the Cementol. So just imagine what you could do with something like this. Have some fun with it.